Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to GeorgiaPower's top 10 games of 2024. So as always, these are my top 10 games of the ones that I played. Usually I am several years behind in games, so you will see games from all over the place here. We did play some that came out in 2024. We also played some that came out in 2015. So, we'll do what we can. So, there were some games that we played that we didn't play enough to be in the top 10 list. Maybe I should move myself over here. So, games that we played some, but either we played them some and not enough to be eligible for this year, or they were on the top 10 list last year because we played them more last year. So, Chained Together. We've done 2 streams of that. Star Wars Force Unleashed, we've done 1 stream. Elden Ring, we've actually done 20 hours, but I know it's a 100+ hour adventure, so I'm going to wait on that one. Faz, here we go, Haley, here we go. Me and Ryan played that for 1 stream. Lunch Lady was the number 9 or 10 game, I think, of 2023. Cyberpunk 2077, we played a couple of times. I thought we were going to finish this game this year for sure. We played it probably 20 hours in 2023, and played it for 3 hours, maybe 6 hours this past year. We Were Here Too, Lure. We're, I guess, halfway through, but gotta get my homie back to play that one. Truck Simulator, we've played a handful of times, but not enough to make a distinction yet, or declaration. And then we have Grounded, which we played once with Fry, so not enough to put it on the list. Number 10 is A Way Out. So I was fortunate enough to play this with Mr. Ryan Sprouse. Thank you very much, sir. I really enjoyed this game. I was surprised it fell down to number 10. I wonder if that's because It Takes Two was on our list about 2 years ago and was, frankly, a better game. And so I think I was kind of comparing this to that one, and I think it suffered a little bit. It also suffers a little bit because you literally have to have someone else to play with. So it's not a game I can just pop in by myself and have a good time with. So, but the whole concept of you and a buddy doing something together was a ton of fun. The story was interesting, a couple twists, couple turns. I liked the idea of escaping a prison. I thought that was the more, the most one of the more interesting scenarios they could have picked for this. So they have a bunch of fun mini games in the meantime you could play as well. Turns out I really suck at shooting glass bottles and playing horseshoe.
There's no playtime for you.
What the fuck? It's harder than it looks, alright? It's harder than it looks. A couple pretty hilarious moments from this. A good story to tie it together. An innovative kind of concept. I know it's been done a couple times at this point, but really innovative at the time. And this is this is probably a 2017 game. But it was a ton of fun. I'm glad we played it. And just slides into the top 10 because the mechanics were simple but good. And it, especially the final showdown was what I think the best part of this game. You think these guys are kind of brothers in arms. I guess spoiler alert for every game on this list. You think these guys are brothers in arms to the end, and then it kind of derails on the last mission or so, and then literally pits you against each other after you've been working so hard to be on the same team the whole time. So this was a lot of fun. Didn't overstay its welcome either. As soon as you're like, yeah, I think I'm about done with it, it wrapped up. It took one last turn and it wrapped up. So all in all, a strong game, but just not couldn't quite climb higher on the list. Number 10, A Way Out. Number 9, Diablo 4. This was the first Diablo game I had played, and it was a lot of fun. We got to slice, we got to dice. There was so much shit happening on the screen at once. It was really entertaining.
Oh, we're too late. The ritual is underway.
He's just walking in circles. Do you see? Is he spinning in circles for years?
I'm in it. I'm in it.
And so finally understand the hype behind this was really cool. I'm glad I got to experience a Diablo. I played Van Helsing back in the day and was like, man, I get why people like these types of games. I just never had found a reason to play it. And Fry, because of her generosity during BCR Fest, gave us a reason to play it. So this was at its best. This game is a lot of fun. Really good cutscenes. Chaotic spell casting that takes like just enough skill to pull off from the dodging and the comboing. And the story was actually when somebody didn't skip through it, and I watched a YouTube video on it afterwards. The story was really good too. Not really good. It was good. And so I had a lot of fun playing it and just mashing buttons and kicking the shit out of people. Now, my issues with it are the end game. I'm just not a guy who likes to min-max that hard and say, yes, I have an 800 power gauntlet, but I can get an 800 power gauntlet with 2% more critical hit chance if I farm this boss 10 times. And I just don't have the desire to do that. To do it, this Destiny. I found out people do this with Borderlands. Just to get like the best couple, because like you kill a boss, it rolls random loot, and like you can get better RNG to level your stuff up. I'm just not that crazy about min-maxing it. And so then the cherry on top is that they reset your character every season. So we then lost all of our progress, and so Fry and I have level 1 characters now. And you kind of have to just go around killing random shit to try to level back up to play it again. And so I really hate games where I lose my progress. That scares me a little bit from roguelikes, honestly. But when the first time through this game was a lot of fun. But the end game I'm not a huge fan of. And the replayability I'm not sold on. So... I know you're supposed to try different builds and do different things, but I was ready to do something more. So I'm just kind of taking it what it is, not thinking about the whole end game that some people really love, but just for the game. I enjoyed it. It was chaos. It was a lot of fun. And we're just going to leave it at that. And now we have number 8. Lethal Company. Great asset to the company. So one of Wub's one of Wumb's top 3 drops here, but knew that it was now we're in the top half of games because we played 17. Lethal Company, I played it not a lot, but a decent bit at the beginning of the year. Played it some in 2023 as well. Played it a couple times late in this year as well with Bina. Is a fun one. Shout out to Wub here.
Mission failed. We'll get them next time.
So, really simple but fun concept. Just the idea of how much stuff can you get and get back. It makes a really... with friends, it's a ton of fun. I gotta imagine without friends it's not great. It was way more fun with friends that I knew well versus people that I didn't know super well. I guess it's kind of Among Us-ish, where yes, you can play with randos, but it's not the same as you and your buddies screaming bloody murder when something comes around the corner. And the proximity chat makes it great. I don't think... maybe this gets back to the min-maxing thing. I wasn't like, we really need to figure out how to beat this. I don't know. It was fun for what it was, for hanging out with the friends and kind of running around the corner and going nuts. But I know you could definitely, I'm pretty sure J-Tal did this, where he like really started to understand each enemy and what is the maximum profit we can get out of a certain run. It just, I don't know. I just played it purely for fun. I didn't take it to that next level, kind of same as Diablo. So anyway, this is a good goofy time. I'm glad that this game exists. Glad we played it. There's a gambling mod. I'm just learning about that. Seems very exciting. So anyway, thoroughly enjoyed time with the friends. This is a great with the homies game. Lure, we had some good sessions on this one. But overall, from just like a full, complete game package standpoint, it's not as good as the next 7. So, Lethal Company at number 8. Hello? Hello, hello, hello? Yalla-hee-hoo! 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 Alright, I did what I could. Alright, lucky number 7. Watch Dogs 2. So, unfortunately, another game for Wub Bites the Dust here. Fucking send it! Alright, the second send was less desirable. But Watch Dogs 2, infinitely better than Watch Dogs 1. Played first half of Watch Dogs 1. There was a game-breaking glitch. Of course that irritated me, but I was like, I was kind of done with this. So it took itself super seriously. This took itself much less seriously. It got a little kooky at times. But for the most part, it was a fun idea. I still love like the hacking premise. It basically just said fuck it, GTA hacking. This was the first kind of true open world game I had played in a while. First kind of GTA style, do whatever you want. Open world's not the right word, but do whatever you want kind of game. Kill whoever, do whatever. So that was a ton of fun. That was really refreshing, like for me personally, just because I hadn't played one in a while. The hacking element is really cool. The side stuff didn't really interest me that much, which is kind of rare. I didn't feel like fully immersed in San Francisco, but the story was surprisingly good. I was surprisingly invested in our little band of misfits taking down the big dog. So this game ended up being a lot of fun. There are a couple things that held it back. I thought we did grind it out for some trophies at the end, which I was getting a little tired of, but sometimes the goofiness went a little far. And it was like, okay. But for the most part, it was all fun. Some crazy shit happened because of the open worldness of it. Just crazy fights and crazy police chases, and the multiplayer that caught me off guard a couple times. So it was a goofy good time, and with a surprisingly good story. That was probably what caught me off guard the most. But man, I didn't want to fully grind everything. I was surprised. I was about ready to be done with the grind of it. Did have some bugs. Nothing crazy, but some invisible / disappearing cars and roads, which was a little frustrating, but nothing catastrophic for sure. But Watch Dogs 2 at number 7. They're protective over the skill point. Oh my god! What? Oh, this is the other... The other rando just decided he had had enough of my... I will say the list from like here up got really hard. This is another year where I guess you can argue the top 4 kind of separated themselves because the vast majority of people picked 3 of the 4, like the same 4 games. So those kind of separated themselves, but I thought even 7 or 5, 6, and 7 were good games, which is it's encouraging. We played some good games this year, but yeah, I thought I was surprised to see this low, just kind of like I was surprised that A Way Out fell to 10. But it is what it is sometimes. All right, number 6. EA Sports College Football 2025. Oh my God, he could not be more covered. God damn it!
Oh my God.
I feel weird playing one of the games that I played the most at number 6. However, it's because I haven't. This is the first football game I've bought in a very long time. First like realistic simulation football game I've bought in like 5 years, and so the reason I ranked it so low is I think nostalgia / like the thirst for this game was I think it made me like it more than I actually do. The game itself definitely has its problems, but it was so much fun to get back into playing football and managing your school and your recruiting and everything. This has been a ton of fun. I play this a decent bit offline, probably 1 or 2 games a week. It's kind of my consistent game I go to. So I've really enjoyed it. I really enjoyed going back to college. The recruiting was great. I haven't even played the single player yet, and I want to. Like, this game's been a lot of fun. And I think it was it was either this or Mass Effect was my top PlayStation game of the year. So this was high on the list for my hours. I am willing to recognize nostalgia got in the way a little bit. It gives me kind of rose-tinted glasses. The game has some serious problems in terms of like balancing where, like, I know not everyone is football folk here, but if you play a cover 4 and you get beat deep, like that would literally never happen ever. You know? Like, and just like a go route just beat somebody. It makes no sense. There's a couple things that it's less obvious than other Maddens were around trying to keep the game close, but there are definitely times where it tries to keep the game close. And it's a little frustrating to play through in that regard. So that's but overall I still really like it. I've had a lot of fun with this game. Even with some of the bugs and some of the problems, I have had a ton of fun with this game this year. So, number 6, College Football 2025. This game is the first time in a long time. There's a couple games this year that made me like really eager to get back home. Like I was really looking forward to playing them on stream. You know, like this was one of them. I guess not this year, but Satisfactory was one of them. Like I'm thinking about it outside, you know, when I'm not playing. Like that's rare, and it happened like 3 times this year, so I'm surprised. Back to the list, number 5, cracking into the top 5. What do we got? Warhammer 40K Space Marine 2.
Kelgar has informed you of your assignment. Good. I will brief you en route.
Terrible
You are
angle.
joining us. I am.
So we'll be playing this the rest of the night. Got some, we talked about Helldivers earlier. Got some Helldivers feel to it, brother. May probably wins the award for the best opening cutscene I've ever seen. Just is the first 10 minutes of this game is absolutely ridiculous. Them dropping in from the helicopter or airplane, and then the first level like is absolute chaos. The sheer amount of bugs that you can kill at once, and like as they form like pyramids up to to get to a higher level. Like, it's such a cool mechanic that, you know, the bugs kind of play like zombies, and they zombie games could really learn a lot from this. Killing Chaos Marines, other ones, not nearly as fun. Not nearly as fun. The bugs were super fun. It's kind of like bugs and machines in Helldivers. That's what we were talking about. Like, there's a lot of parallels. But the bugs are super fun. The machines, it's fine. The story of this was pretty good. I don't know. I did not know enough about the lore to really understand what was going on. I watched probably 4 or 5 hours of lore videos to try to figure it out. But so I feel like I have like the foundation now, but as someone who's never played anything 40K, I've played Total War 40K, but you don't get into the story very much. It was a little confusing, but you could tell it was badass. You know, like, I'm not sure what's going on, but it's badass. Just the, like, over-the-topness of it is great with the splattering bugs and the heretic and the brother. Like, it was just fun to knock some heads. The operations is a really cool concept. I wish more games did it, where you're playing through the story and there you have allies doing other shit, you know, and they just happen to radio in at the perfect time. But like then you get to play those missions to actually see what they were doing while your main character is doing stuff. I thought it was a really cool idea. The multiplayer is okay. Doesn't feel very balanced. We kept ending up on really skewed teams, which was really annoying, where we'd have 3 people under level 5 and they'd have 3 people over level 30, and it's like, okay. Of course we're going to lose this, you know? And maybe they're always in parties or whatever, but I don't know. The matchmaking didn't seem great. I wanted it to remind me of Gears of War, and it almost does. Parts of this remind me of Gears of War. It's kind of Gears of War mixed with Helldivers. But it had some drawbacks. The levels with the chaos, fighting the heretics are just not as fun. It's interesting, but it's just not as fun as the bugs. Honestly, if they had started with the heretics and gone to the bugs, I think my opinion might be different. Yeah, you start with like the first level's amazing. Opening cutscene of the first level is amazing. And then the whole first level is awesome. You play a couple bug levels that are amazing, and then you fight the heretics, and it's like, it's fine, you know, it's fine. But it's not the same. So I don't wonder if they would have flipped it. It would have been different. But anyway, but the operations kept it going. Multiplayer's I am going to try to grind the plat out in this game. So we're going to have some more Space Marine sessions coming your way. But overall, a bunch of blood, guts, explosions. You got to love it. So Space Marine comes in at number 5. Now's where it gets difficult. So everyone essentially picked Alan Wake, Hogwarts, Helldivers, or Mass Effect, except Wub, sorry Wub, as your top 3 to 4 games. So I think this number 4 game will disappoint a lot of people, because that means there's going to be a lot of people that's not on their list. Everyone seemed to agree on my top 4 games of the year. But the top 3 is what pays the cue balls. So this game will disappoint some people. The next reveal, I should say. All right, here we go. Number 4, Mass Effect Legendary Edition. All right, I think this is the really good conversation.
This recruits is a 20-kilo ferrous slug. Feel the weight. Every 5 seconds, the main gun of an Empress-class dreadnought accelerates 1 to 1.3% of light speed.
Got it.
It impacts with the force of a 38-kiloton bomb. That is 3 times the yield of the City Buster dropped on Hiroshima back on Earth.
The City Buster.
That means Sir Isaac Newton is the deadliest son of a bitch in space. Now, Serviceman Burnside, what is Newton's first law?
Sir, an object in motion stays in motion, sir.
No credit for partial answers, maggot.
Sir, unless acted on by an outside force, sir.
Damn straight.
Damn straight.
I dare to assume you ignorant jackasses know that space is empty. Once you fire this hunk of metal, it keeps going till it hits something. That can be a ship, or the planet behind that ship. It might go off into deep space and hit somebody else in 10,000 years. If you pull the trigger on this, you are ruining someone's day, somewhere and sometime.
You are
That
ruining
is why
someone's
you shoot
day.
those damn targets. That is why you wait for the computer to give you a damn firing solution. That is why, Serviceman Chum, we do not eyeball it. This is a weapon of mass destruction. You are not a cowboy shooting from the hip.
Sir, yes, sir.
We do not eyeball it. Really, this top 4 was really hard. What I didn't like about this game, let me give him credit. The Mako is much better than it was. I despised that thing the first time I played Mass Effect. The Mako was much better. I actually played Mass Effect 1 and did all the side missions, and the fact that it starts talking about Cerberus so early was really cool. I didn't know that the first time I played through. The game was as good as I remember it. The combat, each of the games kind of I kind of have an issue with all of them. I feel like there was some, the more I played it, there was kind of more like story holes than I remember. Just things that didn't really make sense, especially 3. I feel like you could tell they were trying to wrap it up. There's some things around, I feel like it's, so I still think number 2 is probably my favorite. It's the simpler, it's such a simple concept, but I feel like they execute it so well, where it's put your team together, bond with your team, go do this impossible mission. Like it's so straightforward. Number 2 is probably my favorite. 3 hits you in the feels, because the finality of it, and I think it makes you emotional because of like the relationships that you've invested with people, and they are very unafraid to kill off main characters, and you spend so much time learning and talking to these people. This is probably 140 hours total that gets put into this, maybe 120. So you really start to care about the people, like, and I remember the first game, or the first time I played this, I distinctly remember the last rounds before the final mission on Mass Effect 3. Getting like choked up about it. This time I'm like, I know it's coming. I'm also 12 years older, like, or 11 years older, like, I'm not gonna get it. And for the most part I was right. For the most part everything was fine, but dude, talking with Garrus at the end, and I'm not even a big Garrus guy. He's not my favorite companion, but man, just something about the conversation with him, I was like, fuck, I don't know. This is one of the very few games that I was actually like gonna be sad that people were gonna have to die in, you know. That's super rare. I still don't know. There's very, very, very few games that make me care about your partners. You know, it's always like sad, but I don't know. This one it hits harder. What I really struggled with this game is the amount of glitches and bugs we still ran into, given it's a legendary edition. It's a remaster. It drives me absolutely fucking nuts that you're going to come out with 3 games the first time. Then you're going to resell me those games. You know what? Fine. Resell them to me. But they say, hey, we're going to rework them. They're going to look prettier than ever. It's all going to be perfect. We're going to give them to you in one package. I know it's the same thing, but we're going to make it perfect, better, nostalgia, here you go. And we had so many fucking bugs. What? So is it processor, graphics card? What are you doing? What is... Why? Why, Garrus? Why? Why are you like this? I would get stuck on stuff. Like, it was crazy how many, like, game-breaking glitches we had. And maybe breaking isn't the right word because you could load a previous save. But my God, I thought that was so unacceptable to have a game that you've now sold to me twice. And the second time it's still fucked up. And maybe that's shame on me. Fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. But when you're like, yeah, we're going to make it good. I mean, maybe I assumed that they would take the bugs out. But my God, that frustrated the hell out of me. But I also think this gets docked a little bit because it's my second time playing it. So it's not the same effect. I also played it Renegade, which was interesting to see the differences. But I do like a mix the best, and so I played 3 as more of a mix. So anyway, I think this game had a few too many problems for it to crack into the top 3 this year. Still really enjoyed it. This is my world. Mine. I can't get past the door. Here we go. You know, to the point I was attached to the characters at the end still. But man, I just thought that I wish their act was cleaned up a little bit. And then there's just a lot of like coincidences in the story, especially 3. The more you play it, or on the second time through. And then like 3 really tried to be Gears of War, like with the rough over-the-shoulder camera and the way the combat changed. I don't know. It was, I think 2 is where it peaked. I gotta be honest. So anyway, Mass Effect Legendary Edition, number 4. Difficult call, but lands just outside the podium for 2024. Now, let's get to the podium, team. Mark wants Helldivers here. What will he get? Number 3. Hogwarts Legacy. Let's come over here and you sit tight. Oh, Poppy, no! Poppy, no! Alright, we almost lost Poppy. So, unfortunately, Mark loses the perfection run. There will not be a 5,000 cue ball winner this year. But there are still plenty of cue balls to win for number 1 and for having some in the top 3 right, even if it's the wrong order. Number 3 is Hogwarts here. As a Harry Potter fan, I really enjoyed this. I don't know. There's something about being able to go in and pick your house, and like it's super cheesy and corny, but I thought it was a ton of fun. It was very immersive. Being able to be a wizard, cast spells, go to class, honestly, was fun. I really liked the way they did it. I guess I really liked the experience of being a student at Hogwarts here. Now, that alludes to what I didn't like about it. It was a fresh enough idea. They executed it well. It was a ton of fun. I really enjoyed my time at the castle. That being said, the ratio of shit that you do outside the castle to inside the castle is way messed up, in my opinion. There are so many things to do in random hillsides close to the castle that, like, I don't know, this game took like 80 hours and probably only 25 hours of it is in the maybe 30. Like, it's not half. It's so I think the game should have been shorter, more focused on the castle. Like, I get you do your investigative stuff outside of it, but like, I think you should always kind of come back to being a student. because that's where it was the most fun, and that's a lot of why I bought the game. So I was a little sad at how much time you spent away from doing the things I wanted to do the most, just to get random quests, chests, flying brooms, that kind of thing.
I was just at the post
Why
office.
is your cloak doing
Gran
that?
told me to expect a package.
The wind is
but
so
it looks
aggressive
as if
here.
she forgot to send it. She didn't send me an owl this week either. Perhaps she's busy with her research.
The blizzard rages on. So, I think just I would have tweaked the time you spent, what you focused on, I guess. But man, when this game at its best is really, really good. So even the comboing stuff, the dodging, like the combat was surprisingly fun. I didn't play it stealth because fuck that. But the overall the game itself is a lot of fun. It kind of overstayed its welcome, like with all it doing things that like it spent so much time and focus on things I didn't really want to do. I guess, how about that? It had this golden thing that I really wanted to do. It showed it to me. It was amazing. And then it's like, we need you to spend like 60 hours doing this, though. And it's like, I don't want to do that. So, it gets a little penalized from that. But overall, it was a magical experience. Really enjoyed doing it. So, Hogwarts Legacy takes the bronze medal at number 3. On to number 2. We've got the silver medal game coming up. The world seems to think it's either Alan Wake or Helldivers. So we shall see which game it is. So without further ado, number 2, the silver medal game is controversy. Alan Wake 2 at number 2. I think this game was extremely well done, and it is a huge improvement from the first game. The combat's better, the progression is better, the detective aspect of thing, like you're being a detective and putting things together, is great. Flipping back and forth between the characters is really good. The fact that it's actually meta for you to have to play a New Game Plus because things change, because every time Alan replays the thing, relives this moment, things are changing around him, is really well done. That being said, I will take some of the responsibility on this. I should not have played this game again immediately. Turn on my flashlight. Oh. Yeah, you can go ahead and play the He's an Idiot. Just go ahead and hit it. I won't rob you of that pleasure, Mark. We played it at a pretty quick pace, and then we played it again immediately, and we played the DLCs right after that, and it just was like, I think I burned myself out on it. So I think what I struggled with was I found myself being like, I'm ready for this to be over. Like, I get it. I'm ready to move on. So that's not a great feeling in a game to have. But the game, what I struggle with in this game, you can blame it on me being a dumbass, is I needed to play it twice. You're supposed to play it twice. I fully am on board with that. But you got to play it twice to fully understand the context, and maybe I should have understood more the first time. But to really get it, you got to play it twice. But to play the game twice, you have to see a lot of the same stuff, repeat a lot of the stuff, and it's like I found myself being ready to be done, but then I couldn't fully speed run it. I felt like, because then I would miss details that were new and different. So I wanted to play it 1.5 times. Like, that was about what I wanted to do. The full 2 was a lot. But I guess that's the whole point. So It's very clever that they made it like meta or in-world lore accurate for you to have to play this multiple times. But anyway, the combat was great. It was super immersive. There was a lot of good jump scares throughout. I don't think this person was there before.
With oyster crackers. The other choice.
The authorities, they
This will put a smile back on your face, my dear.
Sorry?
Oh, fuck!
She's one of them.
Oh my
There
god.
must be an overlap here somewhere.
Cynthia, you bitch. Even those changed between the two playthroughs to keep you on your toes a little bit. It was a really good story. A little confusing. Once again, I'll put that on me. But overall, it was a great addition to the series and to the universe, which is also very interesting that the universe is all connected. So I'm very excited for what these guys will do next. And this was another great entry in it. I think Control 2 is up next, so I'm very excited for that going forward. I think I shouldn't have played it a second time immediately. I think I kind of screwed that up because I got kind of sick of it, honestly. I got kind of tired of it. Which maybe isn't fair to the game, but that was kind of the taste I was left with at the end, was being ready for it to be over. So number 2 is Alan Wake 2. All right, and without further ado, that only leaves one game at the very top of the list, and it is Helldivers. It's been a really, really long time since I've been so invested in a game than I was when Helldivers first came out. It was almost exactly a year ago. I was not streaming at the time, and I saw all this shit pop up from this new game called Helldivers, and I was so pumped, canceling other streams to play it. Like we were going hard because the galaxy needed us. Okay, I think the idea of everyone against these insurmountable odds is awesome. I think the way they do the battle pass makes a ton of sense. It's achievable in game, and you get to pick which ones you participate, which one you don't. The bugs are more fun than the robots, but there's some enemy variety. I mean, the stuff that happened outside of the game took it, like, was over the top. Like all the different, like, I've never, like, you had recruiting ads in like YouTube and TikTok, and like they were super fun. That like they like legitimately added to the game. Then Sony fucks it up, and then they review bomb it. You know, the game. We're in the game. You have to work together to stop this like powerful entity that what Sony was teaching us to do. Not Sony, but is it Arrowhead that makes it? But they taught us to do. Sony fought back against. So then the game has an IRL mission basically where you got to go review bomb it on Steam. Like, so many good moments from this game. Hilarious stuff happening with your friends.
It's not like they only get one shot with that. This thing at least.
I'm so sorry. Oh, the only person I killed was myself. Perfect. I could have killed everyone there.
That's a biotype.
Fuck. Call me on it. Let's do it.
I did call you on it, but there's also a nuke coming in.
Oh my god.
Oh! Me to the enemy.
Oh my god, my body, dude. I'm flying so far. Blowing shit up, limbs flying everywhere. Just a ton of like stupid fun that to be had in this game. The only thing I'll ding it for, it's not bad, but having to like playing with your friends is way better. It's way more funny. It's way more engaging. Playing with randos is not as fun. The other thing is they kind of like trickle content out, and so you kind of have to come back to it after a while, which I have done a bad job of. So Ryan, Carly, we got to get back into it. I think it's time. But I think it was was a ton of fun to play. Slaughtering bugs, killing machines, the whole like Malevolent Creek thing. Like it went beyond the game. While I was in the game, I was having a ton of fun, and then even while I was out of the game, watching videos and stuff of it, it was still like it just made me want to keep coming back and playing. So
I move it.
did you hit it?
Get out the way. I did.
Oh god. Because of that, number one game of the year is Hell Divers 2. We All Sing was very good, Mark. Very, very good. And like artistically, directorially was incredibly good. What did make the cut? So these 7 did make the cut. Silent Hill, the short message. Short game was okay. I don't know. Couple cheap jump scares. Tried to cover some really heavy stuff in a very short amount of time. I know it was supposed to be short and kind of half finished, but it just wasn't that great. RoboCop. Surprised it didn't make the list. Was a good game. Was a straightforward game. Just shoot people in the head and watch it explode. I'm not like a diehard RoboCop fan. That may be a part of it, but the kind of the mundane police work at the station was actually pretty fun, and then just getting to blow up all sorts of shit was fun. There just wasn't that much depth to it. It was kind of it wasn't, but it kind of felt like it was an on-rail shooter, and you just kind of walked around and pow. So I don't know. It was good, but not great. Remnant 2, the story of this game is outrageously complicated. I watched a video on it to understand it. I guess what I learned in the video was this is actually the 3rd game in the series, and the story was not really based on Remnant 1, but the one before it. So I was like, holy shit, like, what is all this stuff? What are we talking about? Who are we talking about? And so that I found out that it's based on a previous game. So I felt like, I don't know, I felt like it did not improve on many of the areas of the first one. A couple new systems that were okay. Some of the bosses were really cool, I'll give it that. But it wasn't nearly as challenging as the first one, and the story was not... I wasn't very engaged in the story because I didn't know what the fuck was happening. And it looked like there was some extremely long dialogue that I could listen to maybe figure it out, but didn't really reel me in like the last one. And the combat was still good, but not... I thought it was very similar to the first one, so it didn't improve on its best feature. Pummel Party. This game's a ton of fun. It's Mario Party, except there's death. The mini games are great. It's a lot of fun. This is the moment where we hit. We set our record for we broke our goal. We hit our goal for donations, and we broke our all-time. We broke $10,000 on Pummel Party. So a lot of great memories with this game. But it's just a really simple Mario Party knockoff. Killer Frequency we talked about already. Very unique game. I'm glad we played it. I love spending time with Mrs. GP, of course, playing it, but just wasn't as... didn't have as many good moments, I guess, as the other games on the list. Choo Choo Charles. I love the story behind Choo Choo Charles and that it's one guy in his basement made it, but the more you play it, the more you realize it becomes apparent one guy in his basement made it. So it's quick and easy, and I would love like a giant Choo Choo Charles game, but you progress so fast. Like, it's super fun at first, but then you become really difficult to kill. You learn to outsmart the train really fast, and there's really no penalty for dying either, so even if you do die, it's fine. So I think there's some balancing issues that comes from Ready or Not, one guy in his basement making it. And last but not least is Ready or Not. I really enjoy this game. I want to continue to play this game. I don't want that to be the message. However, game's hard as shit, man. It's difficult, and it's not necessarily my style of game, the like really tactical shooter. But we've had a lot of fun moments with friends on this one, and I've had a lot of fun with it. I want to play it more. I want to try the single player as well. Sounds like it's XCOM style. You have a team you need to keep alive, which is really interesting. So I've enjoyed it. I would have said it's a good game. There are very few. There's really Silent Hill is probably the only game that I didn't really enjoy, and it was a one-stream game. It was fine. But besides that, I've had a lot of fun memories with all these games. So thank you guys for coming and hanging out. Congratulations to all of our winners. Everyone got at least some cue balls. Very nicely done. So thank you all for coming and hanging out. This is way better with you guys being here.